2016. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Live. All right. So yeah. All right. So we are now officially live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Turn 4 Podcast, Season 2, Episode 32. I am your host, Daniel, and I'm here with Mauricio. Yesterday we were supposed to go live at 7:00, but there's some circumstances that happened that prevented us from hosting the podcast. But we're not going to get too detailed into it. But we're here today. And how's everything going, Mauricio?
Oh, very glad to come back. It's been like 2 weeks. I felt that it was like an eternity that I wasn't being here, but I'm finally back after my birthday celebration and a couple of, it was an important month for us and, the Mexican independence and a lot of stuff that's been going on, but I definitely decided to take a break. And also the last 2 weeks hasn't been the best. So I really definitely needed to have a space for myself, but glad we finally had a good run this weekend. So definitely was a huge motivation to be back. And I'm here, man. It's been a long time since I haven't talked with everything, with you, with all the rest of the people, with all my friends. But I'll promise this couple of weeks, I think I'm going to be very more active here because I think I definitely need like a therapy. I'm here, man. It's just, that's my way to come back. And here we are, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so Las Vegas happened this weekend. All I got to say is that I don't know what to really say about this, but another statement, this was probably a statement win for Denny Hamlin, considering the fact that last year he had the dominant car, and then this week he was able to collect the victory at Las Vegas, and a lot of people were talking about him finally being the year. But Mauricio, start out with you. What was your one of your main takeaways from this weekend at Las Vegas?
Well, there's two things I want to say. Well, three things. First of all, thank God we finally had a good run. we had a very bad, almost in the last month, we had a very bad luck. We just couldn't catch a break. We almost were in the border of getting eliminated at Bristol, at our home track, or I would say at our playground. Yeah, but thankfully that didn't happen.
Was for KFB, this Las Vegas was his home track though. So
he had a good run. He had a top 5 car all race, and another third race finish, just like the first race of this season. He finished third, and today and Sunday he did the same. So 2 top 3 finishes on his home track. Definitely has to be happy about that. So we're gonna get them next year. But yeah. But still, I still have a lot of fight with the 550 horsepower. It's just still another good evidence of how this package is just very bad. It's just not the best racing we can ever have, and unfortunately, we're coming to the last. I think there's still like Kansas, and I don't remember. There's
Texas.
A couple. Texas. Oh. But there's like 2-3 tracks that we're going to use for the last time this package, because next gen car is coming next year. And yeah, definitely the 550 definitely wasn't the best for the business. But if this is something that paves for the next gen, I have a lot of things to be worried about right now. So
yeah, still fingers crossed. Hopefully this fixes some of the aero problems, especially with the off throttle time that's been an issue. But yeah, I mean, I also want to add on to this weekend in Las Vegas. I mean, once again, we saw how this package, especially the 550 horsepower package, difficult to pass. Dirty air plays a big issue. We saw it a lot this weekend. We saw it, a lot with when we had Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin battling for 1, 2, and 3. We saw how they're when they got into the corners, into the corner exit, they had struggled to. Can't talk today. With the 550 package, they're not able to use the off throttle time. It makes it difficult for them to able to get by a car. And then we also saw it in the closing laps with Chase Elliott trying to get to Denny Hamlin in the closing laps of the race. Once again, dirty air played an issue. We've seen this before at Kansas last season with Kevin Harvick trying to pass Joey Logano. We've saw it at Michigan with William Byron and Kyle Larson trying to get to Ryan Blaney on that last restart. So again, the racing product, I mean, with this 550 package, I mean, yeah, it does provide close racing, but again, dirty air is still an issue. Most of these drivers have a hard time passing. So overall, racing, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It wasn't really an impressive race. I mean, considering that Las Vegas is one of the best mile-and-a-half tracks that we currently have on the schedule, I wouldn't say the racing was that impressive at Las Vegas. But overall, I mean, we saw the Joe Gibbs racing cars, especially the Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch. They had really strong runs at Las Vegas. Kyle Larson had a strong run, but apparently, him making that pit stop at the end of stage 2 kind of really did mess up his results. I actually felt like he ran better than what he finished. And then Denny Hamlin, I mean, he was a factor all day. And once again, we've seen, he was able to get his second win of the season. And it's crazy right now that Denny Hamlin right now, he is on a hot streak. I mean, yeah, I know some people may say he hasn't had a good season, but if you look at Denny Hamlin's stats this season, I mean, he doesn't have the same amount of wins that he had at this time last year. But if you look at his first 7, 8 races of the season, he was finishing top 5 in 6 out of 7. He was that consistent. And honestly, right now, Denny Hamlin, when it comes to momentum, right now, Denny Hamlin is the driver that currently is on a hot streak right now. And overall, and Mauricio, I want to ask you this. Do you think right now Hamlin is hitting his peak this season compared to where he was in the spring or in like the first 8, 9 races of the season?
I would say definitely. I think right now it's all matter about how hot in some points you are. And I think he's definitely more than hot right now. I think definitely if you want to say that Denny Hamlin is not like saying that he's not worthy to win the title, definitely last year was a different story. But today we're seeing a Denny Hamlin that maybe the Denny Hamlin that had to appear last year. The Denny Hamlin that he really needed when it mattered. Mm-hmm. Because last year he had with Kevin Harvick they were the 2 best cars of the season, but both of those best cars they didn't win. Obviously, won Mickey Elliott,
Chase, yeah, we're Mickey, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about Mickey, yeah.
Yeah, so Mickey Elliott won the title. But yeah, obviously we all know that during this format, there's only been.
By the way, Chase Elliott fans don't get triggered.
Don't get triggered, but it's the reality, man. It's just. Oh, and by the way, fuck Chase Elliott. We are Team Harvick in this place. So yeah. Yeah, I'm actually wearing
So I actually went to Disney World and I got this hat at Disney World, by the way.
Oh really? You went to Disney World when?
Yeah, I went to Disney World in Dawsonville, Georgia. There's a Disney World there now. So
really, you went this week or last week?
I went yesterday.
Oh, you went this?
Check out this Mickey Mouse hat that I got in Disney World. Y'all see this?
Oh, they got those shits on Disney World. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm actually wearing a Mickey Mouse hat today. So anyways, continue on, Mauricio.
Oh yeah, coming back to the topic. The truth is that there's only been, and maybe we're gonna face the reality, there's only been 2 legend champions or 2 champions that they deserve to win the titles. Martin Truex in 2017 and KFB in 2019. So the rest of the champions, well, they've been champions that, they appear when it most matter, but they are not deserving champions. If you want to go to stats like real regular season stats, because if we go back to the last, let's say from 2017 all the way down to this year, if you want to talk the real champions about this couple of years, we would say Truex. Well, he was a legend champion during all season long. 2018 was Kyle Busch. 2019 as well. It will be like a 2-time champion. And then 2020 was going to be Kevin Harvick, definitely, or Denny Hamlin. That was going to be like the duel for the championship.
Technically, if you look back, I mean, yeah, Kyle Busch would be a 2-time champion, but still a win-win because he's still a 2-time champion with or without the format. So
yeah, still. So you're gonna ask like he doesn't deserve 2-time champion? Well, he definitely deserves 2-time champion. Like it doesn't matter how, but he would still deserve those 2 championships no matter what. So stop bitching about it. So
I mean, if you look at 2015, I mean, without the format, he wouldn't be the champion, but
well, definitely.
If you do the math, like if mathematically he wouldn't be the champion. I mean, due to the fact that he missed a third of the season.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't going to be a champion, but hey, he just with the help of that format, he just made probably the best comeback in NASCAR history with the format. He just make it look impossible, and that's something that I don't think it's something repeats like that I think it will never happen again. That's the reality. Is the 2015 comeback is something that will never happen. That's like once in a lifetime situation. So, yeah, everybody's gonna remember the 2015 comeback. Maybe we'll tell like an under-7 champion, but it's something we will never happen again. So yeah. Coming back to the topic, yeah, I think there's this situation that you have to perform when it most matters. Yeah, Hamlin was the best last year, but he didn't perform when it mattered. This year looks to be the opposite. He's been consistent, yeah, but now he's getting those wins when it matters. And now he has 2 important wins last month in the Southern 500, and now winning the first race of the round of 12 and making to the final 8. So look out with him, because Hamrick can win and make it to the final 4 and maybe take one of the deserving spots and make it complicated for the guys that been very consistent during the whole season.
I think it's safe to say, I don't know if it's just me saying this, but if I think there could be anybody that can give Kyle Larson a run at this championship, I think it might be Denny Hamlin might be the guy. I mean, if you think about it, the whole regular season, for the regular season title, he had to battle Kyle Larson had to battle Denny Hamlin for it. And for the championship, it might come down between those two. I mean, if you look at Denny Hamlin, I mean, if you look at the next few tracks, I mean, yeah, he's already locked in, but Talladega, he's one of the best super speedway racers out there, right? He knows how to get there at the right place, right time. Charlotte Roval, not so much. He hasn't been known to being the best road course racer, but if you look at the round of 8 tracks, he's won at Kansas before. 550 track. He won there in 2019. He's won there twice, actually, last year and in 2019. So, and possibly he had a great car in the spring. So Kansas, definitely a track to watch out for Hamlin. Texas, he did win there 2019. And then Martinsville, he had the dominant car in the spring race, but wasn't able to win. So round of 8 tracks, he is at 3 amazing tracks that he can go out there and win. And then Phoenix, he's ran well at Phoenix. He's won there twice. So, and in the spring race, he ran top 10, but he could. I mean, if you look at his stats right here, I mean, 16 top 5s. He had tied for the most with him and Kyle Larson, and then 21 top 10s, second most. So I mean, yeah, I mean, the fact that he was leading the points for the majority of the regular season, even though some say Denny Hamlin was having a mediocre season, but if you look at his stats, I mean, compared to he's having like right now, he has the same amount of stats that he had last season, but the only thing that was missing was the amount of wins he had. But technically, he seems more consistent this season. And if we compare to his championship seasons, I mean, not championship seasons, his years where he was competing for a championship, you look at 2006, his rookie season, he had an amazing season, but he just didn't have enough wins. 2010, he won the most wins he had in a season, but at times he was inconsistent at times, and you know what happened in the end. He pretty much gave it away. And then 2019, same thing, gave it away. He was about to give Kyle Busch a run for it, but his car started overheating, and then that grill tape issue in the end. And then last season, he just did not have the speed at all to go against Chase Elliott and the Penske guys. But right now, like you mentioned, this could be a whole different scenario this season if you think
Yeah,
about it.
in this year that also Jogis Racing and Henry Motorsports, they've been the two best teams during the whole season. With the downside of Stewart Haas, with the huge downside of Stewart Haas and the inconsistency of Penske and the rest of the guys, but definitely this year has been all between Toyota and Chevrolet. That's been the battle during this couple of during this year, and I would say that if there's two guys that I can think that they can give a run to Kyle Larson is Hamlin and also don't count out Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has been like, in some point, has been like the guy has been battling side by side with the Henry guys, and still he's had like a couple of bad luck during the run of 16, but with this run at Las Vegas, he's gonna go very conservative at Talladega, knowing that's maybe one of his unluckiest tracks in the schedule. But I think he's gonna be playing a very a very safe race. He'll try to get as many points as he can. So when he goes to the Roval, he worry, but only for points. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Busch could be a factor, but here's one thing about Kyle Busch. I mean, so far this season, I mean, we looked at especially the 750 tracks. I mean, considering that majority of the playoff races are at 750 tracks, they're gonna have to, somehow, some way, they're gonna have to figure their 750 package. I mean, if you look at some of his finishes, at Phoenix 25th, Bristol dirt race 17th, Martinsville 10th, Richmond 8th. Let's see what else we have. Darlington, he finished 3rd. Look at Dover, 27th. I mean, right now, his strongest suit has been at the 550 tracks, but when it comes down to the finale, he's gonna. I mean, I think what it comes down to being the champion, you have to perform everywhere, and then especially the 750 tracks, because the fact that Phoenix is a 750 track, so I wouldn't say Kyle Busch. I want to say that Kyle Busch is really. I think he could give a run for it, but I wouldn't say he's really the favorite to really give Kyle Larson a run for it. I look at his stats at this season, and I think I did mention it in last week's podcast, but in the 550 tracks before Las Vegas, his average finish was 3.778, and at the 750 horsepower tracks, you look at Richmond and Bristol, he was not out front, but I think they're gonna have to kind of clean that up, with the 750 tracks.
Yeah, but you've seen that most of the tracks he's had having bad luck. He's got a lot of penalties. He's been like very most of the time has been by his mistake, because he had good cars. For example, Richmond, he could have a run for the win, both Richmond races, but he got penalties and obviously got screwed with still finishing the top 10, but couldn't beat top 5s, top 3s, even wins. But has been those kind of mistakes that's being provoking. But he had very good cars. I think maybe, and also I think Phoenix, but he had those contacts with Russia State, but also that car in that moment was pretty cool, was very good as well. Wasn't that bad car, but still just those kind of mistakes, those kind of distractions that Kyle Busch is having, that I feel that that's something that has been affected in the 750 as well. Remember Nashville, he got he started in the front row, and obviously some bad changes that made Kyle unhappy, but still he got a very good car. So the thing is that the luck is not being on his side on the 750. However, on the round of 8, he's gonna have 2 half-a-mile tracks with 550 horsepower. We're gonna have Kansas, that he has won this year at Kansas on his birthday, by the way, and then we have Texas. Last year he won, breaking a very bad winless streak that he had, but also he's been very good at Texas. So I think there's 2 good tracks that Kyle has to be conservative in this round, and I can definitely see him win in the round of 8 to make it to the last race. So Kyle Busch, he has to make it well in this round of 12, and I'm gonna tell you that the round of 8 has everything in favor of Kyle Busch, because he has 2 half-a-mile tracks like Texas and Kansas, 2 tracks that has won before. So look out with the 18 when he goes to the round of 8, because he can be the first one to make it to the final four because he's been very good at half a mile tracks.
Hmm. And I also say with Kyle Larson, I mean, this season, I mean, he's got Talladega. I mean, his weakest link this season has been at the super speedways. But for Kyle Larson, I mean, I expect him to be conservative as well. My best guess would for him to be to avoid trouble and for him to work together with his Hendrick teammates. But I look at the Charlotte Roval. I mean, you look at Sonoma, he won. Watkins Glen, he won. Charlotte Roval, don't be surprised if Kyle Larson is a factor there and
Yeah,
possibly giving Chase Elliott a run for it. And then I
yeah,
look at the round of 8. I mean, two amazing tracks for Kyle Larson. I mean, Kansas dominated that race in the spring, but unfortunately, he made late race contact with Ryan Blaney at the end, which costed him to get a win there. Texas won the All Star race there. Even though before that Texas hasn't really been kind of him, but same thing. Kyle Larson, he's been strong at these mountain has, but Martinsville, he is not. Before he went to Hendrick, before he got a top 10 finish in the spring, Martinsville was not a strong track for him. But I
yeah.
do expect two out of three tracks that could be in favor for Kyle Larson, but I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, as long if with all those points that he has, it could help him get to the final four. He can point his way in, but I wouldn't I wouldn't say he's fully guaranteed. I mean, you look at what happened to Kevin Harvick last year, we all thought he was guaranteed in, Kansas, it looks like he was going to be safe. Texas, him cutting a tire down, and then NASCAR's inconsistency, with calling the caution for the rain really did mess him up there.
Yeah.
And I think was the main factor for him not making the final four, especially, NASCAR not calling the caution soon enough for rain when they knew that the track was wet. And Martinsville, he just did not show up at the end for Harvick. So I mean, Kyle Larson, I still think he's a championship favorite. I mean, if you look at his stats this season, I mean, right now this season, I mean, you look at Kyle Larson. I mean, 6 wins, most out of anybody, 16 top fives, tied for most, top 10 finishes, most out of everybody. And then if you look at his laps led, 2,000 laps led, 15 stage wins. Right now, Kyle Larson is having a championship level type of year, and I wouldn't count out Kyle Larson. But so these are the playoff standings from 1st to 12th. But Mauricio, I want to ask you, heading into Talladega, who is a driver that you think we should be concerned about heading into Talladega, or a driver that you feel like he's on the verge of elimination, but you feel you can see a good run out of these drivers?
Uh, yeah, I think something that I can see is that, for example, look at those top four guys: Hamlin, Kyle, Truex, and Larson. I know that Larson is going to be a guy that he's going to be playing a very conservative race as well. I can see Larson playing like a little bit of a type of aliens with the Gibbs guys to be conservative. I can see them, all these guys at the front, of these top four guys going at the back, trying to play it safe, like trying to make a little bit like a little bit of work, like a little deal for that race, because they all have a lot of things to lose. So I think they're gonna play it safe. I think Larson, maybe he can team up only for this next race with the Gibbs guys, so he can play it a little bit safe for most of the race, and then maybe help his teammates. But I think maybe if he wants to risk it, maybe he's gonna help maybe Bowman and Byron, that they are in a very tough spot. But I would say Larson for Talladega, I think he's maybe gonna go a little bit, I think, more with the Gibbs guys, that they are having better chances to play it safer. So that's something I can see. I can expect to see Larson playing with the Gibbs guys at Talladega to try to play it safe, to try to not to get into trouble, maybe. And if I'm gonna say the drivers that I have to be worried, definitely the last four of the line, including Kevin Harvick. All those four guys, especially Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell, it's been like it's the four Gibbs car. It's the four Gibbs car. Like, I think he's having a very complicated spot.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher Bell, I mean, this season's been like a hit or miss, pretty much. I mean, there's races he's running well, and then there's races where he's just not where he's just mediocre. I mean, you look at compared to, I don't think he's right there right now with his three teammates. I don't think he's quite there yet. I still feel like he has work to do to really, I think they need to clean up some of the inconsistencies that they have. So he's kind of in a similar position that Alex Bowman is in. He's kind of like that fourth guy out of the Hendrick guys that needs some cleaning up to do when it comes to consistency. But
Yeah.
that's how I see Christopher Bell right now. But Kevin Harvick, I wouldn't be too concerned about him. I mean, we've seen how well the Fords work together to super speedway. So Kevin Harvick, he could be one of the factors for this weekend at Talladega. I mean, the fact that he's got all. I mean, the fact that all of Fords, I mean, the Penske's, the Stewart Haas, the front row, the Roush guys, I mean, they all know how to work very well together, super speedway. Same thing with the Penske guys. I mean, you look at Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, they're
Yeah.
7-8. They're not fully in a good spot to advance, but a good weekend for them at the super speedways. I mean, expect those guys to be running out front. And Brad Keselowski, there's been moments where Brad Keselowski has had to come in clutch at Talladega. I mean, we've seen it twice, in 2014 where he was in a must win heading into Talladega. Brad Keselowski, and in 2017 as well. So Brad Keselowski, when it comes to pressure, there's no one that knows how to rise to the occasion at super speedways more than Brad Keselowski. And that's something that so far, I mean, Brad Keselowski is kind of the only thing, highlight for him this season been winning at Talladega. I mean, otherwise, Keselowski hasn't really been a factor. So this could be a chance for Brad Keselowski for him to save his season and still have a shot at the championship. Same thing for Logano. Logano has not really been that much of a factor how many of us have expected him to. Same thing with super speedways. He could this could save his season right here. I mean, Logano is also one of those guys that knows how to come in clutch at the super speedways. And their other teammate, Ryan Blaney, I feel like he's in a safe spot as well. I mean, he did win the last super speedway race at Daytona. I don't know, man, but I think I'd be concerned for the two Hendrick guys, Alex Bowman and William Byron. I mean, there's been moments where I feel like they're not still there at that level where they know how to handle pressure when it comes to competing a championship, like guys like a Hamlin or a Kyle Busch or a Kyle Larson or Logano, Keselowski, Harvick, or Elliott. I just don't think William Byron is quite there yet. Bowman possibly, but like I said, he's had too many inconsistencies this season besides his 3 wins. But Byron is someone I'd be concerned about.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely has to be the two Hendricks and Christopher Bell. That's the 3 guys you have to be worried about.
But yeah, so these are our playoff standings.
I'm gonna add something. Do you think, as I told you, do you think you see Larson working with the Gibbs guys to play on the role of conservative?
I mean, not necessarily. I kind of expect, these past super speedway races, I mean, we've seen a lot, especially since they changed the package that we've had since 2019. We've seen a lot of occasions where we've seen the Fords work with the Fords, the Toyotas work with the Toyotas, and then the Chevys work with the Chevys. So in a way, I could see Larson playing conservative, but I can kind of see him hanging out more with like the Chevrolet guys, or maybe working with the Hendrick guys, especially Bowman and Byron, making sure they get stage points. That way they wouldn't be heading into like a must win into the Charlotte Roval. And especially in worst case scenarios, possibly the Penske guys might have a bad day, wreck out. Possibly Keselowski, Logano might wreck out, or a Kyle Busch or Martin Truex. So that's one thing they can hope for. But in the end, I feel like Larson possibly could be helping out with the Hendrick guys, make sure everyone gets stage points or a stage win. And that way they can able to accumulate as much points as they can. That way they wouldn't go into a must win. So that's what I kind of see with Larson this weekend.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's possibly. But I tell you, I could see some point maybe working with his teammates, but also maybe playing the role of safe.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll see. Definitely on Sunday. We'll get an answer about that. But something that I'm definitely gonna be 100% sure is that Danny, Kyle, and Truex, they're gonna be hanging on the back, especially Danny. That has not to worry about. I think maybe he's able to help Truex and Kyle try to get the best position as possible.
Yeah.
So the thing is, how's Christopher Bell's race gonna be? I think he's gonna be the guy that has gonna have to deal for himself during the battle, try to get as many stage points as he can. But in the case of Hamrick, Truex, and Kyle, I can definitely see him running the thirds of the race at the back. Try to play it safe.
Yeah. Totally agree with that. And so I mean, so those are the playoff standings heading into this weekend's race at Talladega. All right, so next topic. So NASCAR, so the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series have unveiled their 2022 NASCAR Touring Series schedule. So we're gonna start out with the trucks. So their 2022 schedule. So their schedule goes as. So they'll start out their season at Daytona on Friday, February 18th. Then they will be heading to Las Vegas on Friday, March 4th. Atlanta with the new reconfigured Atlanta Motor Speedway, or it's probably going to be a new super speedway possibly on Saturday, March 19th. Then they will be heading west to COTA for the Circuit of the Americas on Saturday, March 26th. I'm glad they changed it from May to March because, I mean, look how that race turned out as total disaster. I mean, raining everywhere.
A possibility for rain. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, from what I heard, I mean, it doesn't really rain that much in March in Texas, so I'm glad they made that decision. Then they'll head east to Martinsville Speedway on Thursday, April 7th. Then they'll be back once again for the Bristol Dirt for the second year in a row on Saturday, April 16th. Then they'll head to Darlington Raceway for the throwback race on Friday, May 6th. Then they'll go to Kansas on Saturday, May 14th. Then they'll head to the Texas Motor Speedway on Friday, May 20th. Then we will be heading to Charlotte on Friday, May 27th. June 4th, the Worldwide Technology Raceway on Saturday, June 4th. Then for the first time, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, I think it's the first time. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. Anyone in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but this may be their first time going to Sonoma on Saturday, June 11th. Knoxville will be back for a second year in a row on Saturday, June 18th. We all know how that race turned out. Total disaster. I honestly feel they should have just stuck with Eldora. Honestly, they did put on a show. Then they'll head to Nashville on Friday, June 24th. Another change. Mid-Ohio has been added to the schedule for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. They'll be going there on Saturday, July 9th. The Pocono Raceway will be there on Saturday, July 23rd. And Pocono will wrap up the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series regular season. So their opening race of the round of 10 will open up with the new revived Lucas Oil Raceway has returned to the NASCAR schedule for the Camping World Truck Series on Friday, July 29th. Then they'll go to Richmond on Saturday, August 13th. And then the round of 10 wraps up at Kansas on Friday, September 9th. So the round of 8 begins at Bristol, Thursday, September 15th. Then they'll head to Talladega, Saturday, October 1st. And then the round of 8 wraps up the championship decider at Homestead Miami Speedway on Saturday, October 24th. And then the season finale will be at Phoenix for the Truck Series Friday, November 4th. So what was your overall takeaway for the Truck Series schedule?
Looks interesting. There's some kind of tracks that are okay, but some kind of tracks that I don't understand why. And for example, Knoxville, it's been like a disaster. Sonoma, bring back the old fucking reconfiguration. I don't like that new reconfiguration they're using. Bring the old Sonoma back. That's all I want. And
Raceway's back on the schedule.
Yeah, but they are gonna use the long one, and they had to go back with the third version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the Nashville Fairgrounds, so I'm still waiting for that.
Oh yeah,
but we still got to deal with those stupid Karens.
Interesting, especially considering that Homestead is coming back to the schedule on the playoffs. So, but I still feel that Homestead has to be the finale once again. So
yeah, we got the Nashville Fair. Yeah, I like to see the Nashville Fairgrounds, but We got to deal with those Karens. All right, so and then the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity Series schedule has also been unveiled as well. So this is how it goes. The season opener will start at of course, Daytona International Speedway on Saturday, February 19th. Then they'll head to the Auto Club Speedway on Saturday, February 26th. And then they'll go to Las Vegas on Saturday, March 5th. Phoenix, Saturday, March 12th. At the new reconfigured Atlanta Motor Speedway, or reconfigured Super Speedway is what I assume it is, on Saturday, March 19th. Then they'll head to Coda on Saturday, March 26th. Richmond on Saturday, April 2nd. Martinsville on Friday, April 8th. Talladega on Saturday, April 23rd. Dover on Saturday, April 30th. The throwback race at Darlington at Saturday, May 7th. Then they'll head to Texas on Saturday, May 21st. Charlotte on Saturday, May 28th. One of the changes that has been added to the Xfinity Series schedule is that they will be heading to Portland on Saturday, June 4th. So a new track on the schedule for them. Who knows? They might do a NASCAR and IndyCar doubleheader at the Portland International Raceway. Who knows? But we'll keep updated with that. Nashville on Saturday, June 25th. Road America Saturday, July 2nd to continue on the second year in a row having Road America as 4th of July weekend, which I will be there once again. Atlanta Saturday, July 9th. New Hampshire Saturday, July 16th. Pocono Saturday, July 23rd. The Indianapolis Road Course Saturday, July 30th. Michigan Saturday, August 6th. Watkins Glen Saturday, August 20th. Daytona Friday, August 26th. Darlington Saturday, September 3rd. Kansas September 10th. Bristol Friday, September 16th. That and Bristol will wrap up the Xfinity Series regular season. And in the playoffs, the round of 12 will start at Texas Saturday, September 24th. Talladega Saturday, October 1st. The Charlotte Roval on Saturday, October 8th, and that will be the cutoff for the round of 12. The round of 8 will start at Las Vegas Saturday, October 15th. The Homestead Miami Speedway Saturday, October 23rd, and then the championship decider for the Xfinity Series will wrap up at Saturday, October 29th at the Martinsville Speedway.
A race at Talladega?
Yeah, 2 races at Talladega.
Yeah, okay.
And then the championship race will be in Phoenix Saturday, November 5th. So, Mauricio, what are your main takeaways for the Xfinity Series schedule?
Well, Xfinity has been the new Cup Series, so definitely it's a very interesting season. Considering that also there's gonna be a very visual change next year. They're not gonna have purple banners, so that's something. That's gonna look very attractive. To be honest, I like the purple color, and it looks pretty good on the Xfinity Series. Definitely, it's gonna be something that we're gonna be excited for when it comes to the playoffs to have those purple banners on the cars. It's gonna be pretty exotic. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for the Xfinity Series season, and who knows, maybe some changes will be good, some will be bad, but we have to see in the action. We just have a lot of things to wait for next year because there's a lot.
Especially for the playoffs, though, you're gonna see purple banners, purple spoilers. That's gonna look sexy as hell.
Yeah,
it'll be cool. I mean, seeing I like to. I mean, especially if Ty Gibbs does go full time next season, I like to see. He should. Yo, it is a crime if Ty Gibbs does not go full time next season in Xfinity.
I'm gonna tell you, I think the only one that's securing, place in 2022, I can see is Brandon Jones.
Brandon Jones, I think he might be back in the 19. I know Hamrick is not going to be back at the 18. He's going to go to Colleague Racing. Harrison Burton's moving up to Cup. I don't know what's going to happen with the 54. I don't know if it's going to continue to be a part-time car, but there's going to be a lot of changes to the lineup. But we'll get. Probably John Hunter Nemechek. I think he might go full-time, maybe for Joe Gibbs in the Xfinity Series. Possibility.
You think maybe Joe Gibbs Racing will go with 4 full-time cars and maybe add a 5th car as a part-time?
It's a possibility.
Because remember that at Road America, he did that. Joe Gibbs did that. He put 5 cars on the track. He put Kyle Busch, he put Ty Gibbs. He put Ty Gibbs in the 81. Kyle Busch was in the 54. And then he streaked full-time guys, Hamrick, Burton, and Jones. So, because I think in Xfinity, they don't have they don't have a limited number of.
No.
They can have as many cars they want, so they have 5.
And so
Obviously,
that means Michael Annett possibly could be a 5th car at JRM. I mean, I don't know if Sam Mayer's gonna go full time in Xfinity, but
I can definitely see that they are going to have a very good lineup. Like they're going to have Gregson, they are going to have Allgaier, they are going to have Josh Berry, like a very very powerful field with cars. It's definitely going to be a very good JRM grid. And my concern is with Kyle Busch Motorsports in trucks. Like John Hunter going to Xfinity definitely is going to be a good, but for his trucks, I got my concern with the drivers because all the guys that they are not John Hunter limited suck.
I mean, Chandler Smith finally got a win right now. I mean, he finally got a win, and
yeah,
if he keeps that momentum going, though.
Yeah, but how much time he took to win a race with KBM equipment? So,
I mean, Christian Eckes finally won. I mean, he finally won, and he didn't win in KBM equipment. I mean, there were some races last year that I felt Christian Eckes should have won, but man, he deserves a full-time. He should get a full-time ride at ThorSport. I mean, to be honest, I mean, Johnny Sauter, in my opinion, he's already past his prime already.
He didn't have a prime shit.
2016. I mean, throughout like in his GMS years, I mean, he was really good in his GMS years.
Well, but we are not in GMS. We are in 2021, man. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago was his prime.
So yeah, definitely. But who knows?
Matt Crafton, I still feel he has maybe one good year left. I mean, he's still being consistent. I mean, he's still consistent, but I mean, when it comes to who I think might retire first, it might come down to Johnny Sauter probably first.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
But Kyle Busch goes and beats the young guys, huh? He goes to beat the young guys, and they forgot that they have guys like Crafton and Sauter that they have been a lot of years in the truck series, and Kyle Busch is only 5 races. Still, they beat them very easily. So I don't think
bring Todd Bodine back. Oh, I would like to see Todd Bodine back in a truck.
One race only.
Yeah, one race, one off race though. Yo, man, Todd Bodine, bro. Todd Bodine's gonna show those young guys how it's done, though.
And until Kyle Busch comes and say, "Huh."
Hey, what if Kyle Busch? Oh my God. Okay. I want to hear your thoughts on this. What would you do if Ron Hornaday comes out of retirement and races in KBM's 51 truck at Texas Motor Speedway?
Twitter media is going to explode with that. Twitter media is going to explode.
Oh my God.
Well, I can see definitely they are having respect each other right now because obviously, 2011 was not like a good. Or if you want to talk about Ron Hornaday fans, especially in the NASCAR community. But I definitely say that 10 years, it's been 10 years that happened. So I think they have passed through. Because 10 years ago had that rivalry with Kevin Harvick, and now we see them talking to each other. So I think maybe the time had just cured those kind of painful days. So I like maybe can work like Greg Biffle. Greg Biffle, I think 2019, he drove only one race, and that only race Greg Biffle drive, he won. So,
hey, I'm still waiting for that Carl Edwards one-off.
Well, Kurt Busch is going to 2311. So, look, you're gonna see Kurt Busch driving trucks for Kyle Busch. So, there's no doubt. There's no doubt he's gonna be driving for Kyle Busch. That's something I can definitely see coming for next year. If you're gonna tell me if we're gonna see Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch having a lot of teamwork, definitely we're gonna see it next year. Now that he's back in Toyota, so I can see him driving for Jokic Racing, and I can see him driving for his brother.
Honestly, Phil, I think this driver could make a difference. Maybe if you give him a chance, considering the fact that I don't know if he's going to be back at Colleague next season. I mean, considering the fact that Nutrient Ag Solutions will not be returning to Colleague, and we don't know if Jeb Burton's going to be back, but he does bring state water heaters. And what if maybe if John Henry Nemechek goes to Xfinity, Jeb Burton goes to the Ford truck?
Do you think they're gonna maybe
That's a
make it?
possibility. That's kind of a concept,
Maybe
possibly.
I can see that maybe that opportunity for Burton to try to perform and try to go to maybe going not only as a good driver but to be a superstar. Maybe definitely I can see
Because I
that.
can think of Jeb Burton. I can think of possibly Ryan Preece. I mean,
Well, Ryan Preece, that I would really love to have Ryan Preece on the team, definitely. But I don't know. It's just like
there's certain drivers. I mean, I think back. I mean, possibly the fact that I think he's driving the 96 now. Honestly, I feel like Landon Castle, he's never had that good, like that golden opportunity. I feel like Landon Castle throughout his whole career, he's been a journeyman driver. He's driven for a lot of underfunded teams, and he's never had that golden opportunity to race in good equipment. And honestly, it'd be interesting to see how I think Landon Castle could do if you give him good equipment, if he just gets that good opportunity. But I feel like Landon Castle, I just never seen the potential he has in a good equipment.
I think definitely if when we talk about the guys that deserve our opportunity to have on top tier equipment are Ryan Preece and Landon Castle. That's something that and AJ Allmendinger had his chance. He had his chance, and now look how his career had changed in these last three,
Hold
4
on.
years.
Oh wait, I think I remember, but I think Landon Castle, I think he used to be a Hendrick development driver in 2000 around from 2006 to 2008. But he didn't really do much in that car. But at that time, Landon Castle, I mean, how old is he right now? He's 32 years old right now. So right now he's kind of at that prime year where usually a driver, like usually a span of a driver's career on average is usually 15 to 20 years. If you look at guys like a Kurt Busch, a Kevin Harvick, a Kyle Busch, a Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson's, the Jeff Gordons, any driver, you name. Usually their span of their careers from like a 15 to 20 year competitive years. Usually around like mid to late 30s are kind of like your prime years of your career. Honestly, I don't think Landon Castle is going to be a cup champion, but I don't think he's a cup superstar. He's driven, he's had his chances, he's had his chances for Front Row, for BK Racing, for Starcom, you name it, or Circle Sport Racing. I think Landon Castle, give him the right equipment. I think he could be a competitive truck or Xfinity driver if given him the right equipment. I mean, yeah, he was a Hendrick development driver, but at that time, he was young. He did wreck a lot of cars at that time. But I feel like now that he's kind of been that journeyman type of driver and he's kind of become that veteran journeyman driver, I honestly feel like he deserves an opportunity at a competitive Xfinity or Truck Series ride. I mean, but the only thing is he doesn't really bring that funding.
Yeah, that's the problem. But hey, he has been showing, for example, Talladega 2014. With the Ford car, wow. You remember that race?
Oh my God.
And then Cassie, like how many, like also Michael Waltrip, I think Travis Squapple, like how many underfunded teams they were running at the front. That was insane.
Oh hell.
That's what's the beauty of Talladega and Daytona. The teams that you don't even expect to race competitive, they run in the top 5, just going for that win. It's just like those great moments. That's why Talladega and Daytona are my favorite tracks of all times. Like everybody has the opportunity to have those runs, and we got amazing stories like Parker Kligerman winning at 2017, I think. David Reagan winning at 2013. Like those kind of underfunding moments, like those underrated or you see in like underfunded teams try having those underrated moments. So definitely that's what I love of Talladega and Daytona. Like guys that you don't see being competitive 24 every weekend. They just have this gold opportunity to go and perform to the big guys, and having this kind of moments like Gray Golding, for example. Or Gray Golding also has been
Oh, another one. Oh my God. Okay, that's another one I had in mind. I mean, I think Greg Galding, if you do give him the right equipment now, I mean, I feel like I say maybe 4 years ago, I wasn't really that impressed with Greg Galding. The fact that he got rushed up to Cup way too soon, but now that he's kind of dropped down, in Xfinity or even Cup, I feel like maybe a competitive Xfinity ride or a sharp ride could be I think something that Greg Galding does deserve an opportunity. Maybe a KBM truck. I mean, if he brings Panini with him to the KBM truck, I think he could be a possible driver. Yeah, so definitely another driver I had in mind too. If I think you do give him competitive equipment, I think he could definitely be someone that could really be out there competing.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, he got 2 runner-up finishes. That's something insane. Like he 2 runner-up finishes at I think one at Talladega, one at Daytona. He's been pretty solid on super speedways. But yeah, those are those kind of shines that they have shown. Brandon Brown as well, for example. We also seen it this with the last couple of years with Brandon Brown, Ryan Sieg as well. Jeremy Clements in some point
Ryan
as well.
Vargas.
Ryan Vargas I see having his full potential, but yeah, guys like Jeremy Clements or Ryan Sieg, we see him in the top 5 on the last laps going for the win. But yeah, those kind of, you're saying like underfunded teams, like those moments that they just see like, holy cow, how did they make it to try to fight for the to the first spots? Bobby Labonte, I remember he was driving the 47 up front at Talladega one. I don't remember which year. I think
the fall
it was
race. No, I think it was either fall. Yeah, I think the fall race in 2011 or 12. I don't remember, but either one of those years.
There was a point that Bobby Labonte was leading as well. So those are those kind of golden moments that you don't see very often, man. Like having those underfunded teams leading as well. Those are those beautiful moments, man. Daniel Suarez as well at some point leading at Daytona, I think last year with that 96 car. So
I remember that.
Beautiful moments like that team. So those kind of smiles that the teams like leading the race, that's like a huge win for those teams. Like leading the race, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm gonna be honest, so I think right here, updates on the Benedetto for 2022. So for Matt Benedetto, I mean, right now there's no updates right now, but I'm gonna be real honest though. I'm gonna be completely 100% real honest. I'm gonna be unfiltered, but in my opinion, I don't think Matt Benedetto deserves a competitive ride, to be honest. It got to a point where I don't feel bad for him no more. I mean, I remember Bristol, I was broken for him, but now it's like you had 2 years to prove yourself in that 21 car. You just, barely made it into the playoffs last season. Didn't make it past the round of 16. And then this season, the only competitive race he had, this season was Talladega in the spring. But honestly, there's no more excuse for Matt Benedetto. I mean, at this point, he had his opportunity to perform in that 21 car, at least get a win. But it's to the point where I don't feel bad for the guy. I don't even feel bad for him no more. I mean, I don't really have that much sympathy for him, like how I did in after Bristol in 2019. I mean, I'm not saying Matt Benedetto's a bad driver, but he's not a championship level driver. I mean, is he I think he's an average driver, but I think his opportunities for competitive ride, I mean, unless he wins this weekend, I don't see those opportunities coming for him no more. I mean, the option is either go to Xfinity or trucks, improve yourself there, or is he going to go back to those teams like Front Row Motorsports or a Rick Ware car or teams like or a Live Fast car? Honestly, for Matt Benedetto, I mean, at this point, he has to get one more win if he really wants to prove himself that he deserves at least a good cup ride.
Yeah, that's definitely. It's something that maybe also is happening with Daniel Hamrick as well.
Yeah.
A guy that he can't even get a win and still having opportunity. Like he's having another opportunity next year with Colleague Racing. So
also another thing, Daniel Hamrick. I'm still don't understand why he keeps getting opportunities. When there's guys out there like a Landon Castle, guys out there like Ryan Preece, guys out there like Ty Dillon, guys that are out there like Carson Hocevar, or guys like Gray Golding, Brandon Brown, Ryan Vargas. Right now they're busting their asses off. Excuse my language. They're busting their butts off, to be in the position, to at least have an opportunity to compete in trucks, Xfinity, Cup, you name it, any series, especially when it comes to drivers that don't bring any funding. I mean, this is kind of, reminiscent back into the old days of NASCAR. Back then, for drivers in the 50s, 60s eras, you look at guys like the Bobby Allisons, the Dale Earnhardts, the Cale Yarboroughs, the Curtis Turners, those guys, they had to work their way up, man. They didn't bring any funding, but they worked their way up. They had to prove themselves with whatever equipment they were given or whatever equipment they had. And I think that's why I kind of respect a lot of guys like a Brandon Brown. I respect guys like Ryan Sieg, Ryan Vargas that kind of race for kind of either, or Jeremy Clements, guys that drive for family-owned race teams or kind of drive for underfunded teams, but they know they got the talent, but they don't bring the funding. And right now, Matt Benedetto is in a spot where he's had the opportunity to perform, but he did not perform. And the worst part is that he doesn't bring any funding. So that right there, he's in a lose-lose situation. But yeah, and with Daniel Hamrick, I mean, kind of even though I'm a little off topic about the whole Hamrick thing, Daniel Hamrick, he brings funding. He brings Poppy Bank. He brings South Point Hotel and Casino. He brings two great sponsorship. They keep backing him up. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have a sponsor back up to you, but if you cannot perform in competitive equipment, if you can't perform in equipment like Joe Gibbs Racing or a Hendrick or a Colleague Racing or you name it, any race team out there, who's next? Roush Fenway Racing, Stewart Haas Racing, Front Row Motorsports. Who else can I think of? No.
Herbs talking about like
yo, hey, who's so Roush is still left, Stewart Haas is still left, KBM is still left to hire him. But if he cannot win in any of those equipments, he's not deserving of a ride. I'm sorry, but I just don't understand why these other teams keep giving him the opportunity when they can give an opportunity to a Ryan Sieg, to a Ryan Preece, or even a Jeb Burton. He lost Nutrient Ag Solutions. He might be looking for a ride at the end of this season. It's mind-boggling for me.
Yeah, it's definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like money moves, man. The talent hasn't been a big factor, and
yeah, it's
something that definitely one of the clearest examples right now is Riley Herbst right now.
Don't even get me started with terrible Herbst, man.
That money is what makes you have those big opportunities. You have to see the Riley Herbst experience right now.
Hey, who wrecked more, Riley Herbst or Stephen Wallace? Who's worse? No. Riley Herbst, Stephen Wallace, or John West Townley?
I would say Riley Herbst is, I think, even worse than
I say John West Townley. You look at his 2009 Xfinity Series season.
West Townley won in trucks.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it was a fuel mileage win, but it's still a win, though. I mean, he was able to at least win a race.
Yeah, at least John West Townley won.
And then that fight with Spencer Gallagher. Oh, my God.
That was one of the most funniest, cringiest fights I've ever seen in my life. Like, not even a fucking wrestler.
Yo, you know what this kind of reminds me of, Mauricio? You ever seen like well, me and Mauricio, we mostly understand this because of the Mexican culture, but it kind of looks like you're at the quinceañera and they're trying to and the quinceañera and the chavalan are all drunk as hell, or like and then there's like and then they fall to the ground.
And
Oh hell no! That's what it reminds me of, though.
that remind me of the DDT move like they normally do on the wrestling environments, like the DDT on the ground.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess they were trying to go for the wrestle for WWE or something, but
they were trying to go to the wrestling. I think they better, instead of fucking driving, I think they should better go to a wrestling.
No, but I remember they got all tired. Remember, I think John was trying to punch Spencer Gallagher, but he's like, I can't no more.
They were tired, like fuck.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, but those were the two highlights. But another driver I think I consider way worse than Riley Herbst, Kevin Conway. Oh, don't even get me started with that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So before we get to the pit stop round, we'd like to give a shout out to Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR. Shop for the new release of the 164 and 124 scale diecast, race version diecast. You can also pre-order your race version diecast of Denny Hamlin's Las Vegas wins. Also, you can also pre-order for the most recent winners, Kyle Larson's Bristol win as well. You can also pre-order it on Lionel Racing or on NASCAR.com. And check out the new Waves release of NASCAR Authentics at your local Target and your local Walmart. All right, so for this week's diecast, for this week's Lionel Racing shout out for this week's on the Turn 4 podcast. I am repping Kyle Larson's 2017 Cars 3 raced version diecast 164 that he won at Michigan in 2017. So this is definitely the Lightning McQueen car that I call it, or Lightning Larson is the paint scheme how I call it. But see, it's got the confetti on it. I think it even has some of the contact that was made during the race. Definitely a very detailed car. I remember watching this race.
Yeah, that's
back when
cool.
Larson was unstoppable at Michigan. When he had that run of 3 Michigan wins. Yeah, I think 3 Michigan wins in a row. And Mauricio still has no diecast, but if you want to ship any diecast to Mauricio, just I don't know, we'll give you our business inquiries or something. But hey, Mauricio still has one diecast though, and yeah.
Hey, at least I got the At least I got the I got the NASCAR Ignition 21. So
yeah, and also pre-order NASCAR Ignition 21 as well though. So
that's something. At least I'm not having a diecast, but hey, I'm having the NASCAR Heat 21. NASCAR Ignition 21. That's
yes.
NASCAR anymore. That's the game.
That's something else, bro.
Yeah, that's another level. The game is. It looks
pretty
cool.
So shout out to Lionel Racing, and yeah. So let's get back to the pit stop segment. So there's a few things we want to cover for this weekend. All right, so starting out, Toyota unveils their new Tundra Trd Pro for the 2022 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and also Ford unveiled their 2022 Ford F-150 for next season. I gotta say that Toyota Tundra, badass. Yeah, especially KFB was doing donuts on the front stretch at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, so that was awesome to see him show off the Tundra.
I can definitely see Kyle Busch being the first driver to win in that Tundra. So
yeah,
definitely it's gonna definitely. I want to see his paint scheme in that new Tundra. I hope they have something new for that Tundra, because definitely they have to do something special with that new Tundra. I think they don't. They have to do something new. Maybe Rowdy Energy.
Rowdy Energy scheme in that car. Oh
yeah,
badass though.
I think this is a very good moment to do that.
That'd be
bad. Wait. By the way, thank you for the birthday present. I got a like from him on Twitter.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Would you get a Toyota Tundra?
I would really love, but too much money, man.
Yeah, you got to build that credit up.
We are poor.
Yeah, we're broke. We're broke. Yeah, I got a Dodge Avenger. I got a 2014 Dodge Avenger. So, but I'm trying to switch it to Camaro or a Charger if Dodge comes back to NASCAR, which I don't see it happening.
Hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, man. Those 2013 Gen 6 Chargers, though, those were badass too. When they unveiled those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another what could have been. But yeah. Is Azalea Gynecology will be sponsoring Jack Wood at Talladega. Hamsters USA joins Zane Smith playoff run at Talladega Super Speedway. Height or HYTE joins Drew Dollar at Talladega and Corey Heim at Martinsville. Side Plate will be sponsoring Colleague Racing at Talladega and the Charlotte Roval. They'll be sponsoring AJ Allmendinger in the next 2 races. We already gone over this, but Daniel Hamrick will be moving to Colleague Racing for the 2022 Xfinity Series season. Another opportunity, another full-time ride, but still no wins on his resume. So we're still waiting on that win for Daniel Hamrick, and we're still waiting on that backflip. NASCAR is planning to add Portland International Raceway to the 2022 Xfinity Series schedule, but that was from yesterday. But today it has been confirmed that Portland will be added to the schedule. Spencer Boyd will add the Xfinity race at the Charlotte Roval to his racing schedule. Santino Ferrucci will be returning to Sam Hunt Racing at Talladega, sponsored by Hy-Vee. Absaroka will be sponsoring Jeffrey Earnhardt at Talladega. CarQuest and Team Penske will be to represent the American Heart Association at Talladega. Let's see. 5 penalties were issued at Las Vegas. They were all for lug nuts properly not installed. So the following drivers that got penalized for uninstalled lug nuts are the 4 of Kevin Harvick, the 5 of Kyle Larson, the 18 of Kyle Busch, the 42 of Ross Chastain, and the 99 of Daniel Suarez. The only difference is, so for Kevin Harvick, crew chief Rodney Childers was fined $20,000 and suspended for this weekend's Talladega race. Kyle Larson, for crew chief Cliff Daniels, was fined $1,000. For Kyle Busch, crew chief Ben Bayshore was fined $10,000. Ross Chastain, crew chief Phil Surgeon, fined $10,000. And for Daniel Suarez, crew chief Travis Mack has been fined $10,000. So every crew chief was fined, but except the only difference was Rodney Childers got fined $20,000 and will be suspended for next week's race at Talladega. So Kevin Harvick's not going to have Rodney Childers this weekend at Talladega. So I don't know how that's going to affect him. We don't know who's going to be the interim crew chief for the number 4 car, but I like to see Tony Gibson back in the pit box or Greg Zipadelli. But yeah,
we'll see what goes because this thing is going on.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go to the. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. All right. So we're gonna go over the entry list for this weekend's race at Talladega. Let me just pull it up real quick. All right. Here we go. All right. So Quinn Half will have 8-ball chocolate whiskey. Kurt Busch will have Monster Energy. Brad Keselowski will have Discount Tire. Austin Dillon will have Breastreet. Kevin Harvick will have Busch Light, # Hunt for Busch. If you guys haven't badass scheme though.
That's cool. That's a good one.
I say Busch Beer once again. They've done it again with those schemes though. They're very. I gotta give Busch Light the credit, man. They're very creative.
The one that they drove at Talladega, the first race, that was pretty cool. I like that one.
Oh, the dog one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was badass. Yeah, I remember when I saw that scheme. I'm like, damn, they got beer for dogs too. Yeah.
They got beer for dogs.
Yeah, I was about to give some to my dogs.
They were all the drunk dogs like, woo.
Oh shit! All right, Kyle Larson will have Cincinnati this weekend. Ryan Newman will have Kohler Generators. Corey LaJoie will have Scooter Systems. Tyler Reddick will have Realtree. Chase Elliott will have A-Shock this weekend. Eric Almirola will have Smithfield. Denny Hamlin will have FedEx Express. Ryan Blaney will have Menards / Maftac. Chase Briscoe will have Rush Truck Center / Mobile One. Joey Gase is back for this weekend. Also, I forgot to mention in the pit stop round that Joey Gates was taken and evaluated at a local Las Vegas Motor Speedway hospital from that crash. I didn't get to see the crash, but I did see some photos, and good to see that he was arrived from that crash. That was definitely a very scary wreck, by the way. So he'll be in the number 15 Boom Mobile this weekend. Justin Haley, he's going to be in the number 16 for Colleague Racing, and he'll have leaf filter gutter protection Chevrolet. Chris Buescher will be in the number 17 Violet Defense. Kyle Busch will have his regular M&M scheme. Martin Truex Jr. will have Bass Pro Shops. Chris Rebel will have Ream. Matt DiBenedetto will have Quick Lane Tire and Out of Center. Joey Logano will have Shell Pennzoil. Bubba Wallace will have McDonald's. William Byron will have Exalta. Michael McDowell will have Love's Travel Stops. Ryan Preece will have Kroger slash Velveeta. Anthony Alfredo, he still has yet to announce his sponsorship. Cole Custer is going to have Autodesk slash HaasTooling.com. Ross Chastain will have Clover. Eric Jones will have the U.S. Air Force Special Welfare Card. Definitely another amazing scheme to watch out for this weekend. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is also going to drive the Sunny D car. Definitely one of my favorite schemes out there. Definitely, I love that Sunny D scheme. Alex Bowman is going to have Ally. Cody Ware will have Nurtec ODT. Josh Bilicki will have Junction Fuels. Garrett Smithley will have Sparks. David Starr, he will be in the number 66. Justin Allgaier will make his cup start in the number 77 for Spire Motorsports, and he will have Brandt on this weekend. BJ McLeod will have NASCAR 21 Ignition. Make sure y'all pre-order NASCAR 21 Ignition, which will be released in October. Do you know what date it's going to be released, Mauricio?
I think it's 26 or 28. It's actually less than a month.
Yeah, less than a month away. I think 26 or 27. Chat, correct us if we're wrong. Let us know what day.
Let me search.
Yeah, Landon Castle will be in the number 96 for Gaunt Brothers Racing. He'll have Cardinal Malley Toyota, and Daniel Suarez will have Good Sam this weekend. So that is the entry list for this weekend's race.
Yeah, October 26th. That's the
October 26th.
But I think there's some people that they can play it 2 days before, I think.
Yeah.
If you pre-order the game. So you pre-order the game, I think you can play it on 24th of October, I think is the date.
Yeah. All right, so that is the entry list for this weekend at Talladega. So now we're gonna go on to picks, and then once after picks, there's also an update I also have to give regards into something, but it's nothing bad. It's just a little update, and for all you people watching the chat, I'm gonna need your help after. All right, so Mauricio, start out with you. Let's start out with the truck picks at Talladega. Who are your picks for Talladega?
Okay, so I think this weekend is gonna be like tough because, as you know, Talladega is like we're gonna have our playoff picks, but also as well how it's gonna be our playoff, but maybe upset picks. So how it's gonna play both main and
upset.
All right. Oh, that's gonna be a tough one, man. I think Talladega, everybody can win. That's the reality of how Super Speedway works. Anybody can win the race. So, whoever you want to choose, you have to go with the guys that they race a little bit better on Super Speedway. So, I think Brandon Finger is gonna be driving. So. But I think I'm going to have to choose first with playoffs because main and Volpe has to be between the playoff guys. Mm-hmm. So for my main pick, I think I'm going to go. Give me a second. Let me, because I have to refresh because it's been a long time since I talk about NASCAR. So I have to watch all the drivers again who are in the playoffs. Okay. You know what? We're going to make the surprise. I think I'm going to go with Stuart Friesen. That's my main pick.
Wow.
No, wait. Give me a second. I'm going to make a change. I think Ben Rhodes, as much as I hate this motherfucker, I'm going to have to go with the 99.
Don't get triggered, Ben Rhodes fans, by the way, if any Ben Rhodes fans are watching.
And the guy, I'm sorry, guys, but I just
don't hate
this guy. That's going to be my main pick. my bold pick, I think I'm gonna go with Carson Hocevar. Very underrated driver. I think he definitely is gonna be a guy that you have to look out for. That's gonna be a guy that definitely you're gonna wait for it. And my upset, I was talking about Stuart Friesen. However, I think Stuart Friesen has been pretty consistent and he's been pulling the surprise. However, I think I'm gonna go with a non-playoff guy, and I think a non-playoff guy that can be very surprising, or that can have a very good shot to win. Austin Wade Self.
All right.
I think it's a guy that we've seen him very having a very good performance at Talladega, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he actually fights for the win. So look out with Austin Wayne Self.
All right. So my truck picks, main pick, I'm going to go with John Hunter Nemechek to win at Talladega. I know he's kind of been falling off lately, but I think he turns it around here to lock himself to, and he'll be the first one to lock himself to Phoenix. Bull pick, I'm going with the veteran, the crafty veteran of the truck series, Matt Crafton. I feel like Matt Crafton, this would be huge, especially, the fact that, he's a veteran of the sport and he's trying to go for his fourth truck series championship. And with this win, possibly could help him lock himself into Phoenix. And then upset pick, I've just been weighing something from this young kid. I mean, as much as he's been tearing up equipment or driving too aggressively, this is a track where you can be aggressive in the end. I'm going to go with Derek Kraus as my upset pick. So, yeah. So now we're going to go to Xfinity. Mauricio, give us your Xfinity series picks.
Okay. My main pick, I think there's something that you don't have to miss. I think this guy is definitely a guy that you have to look out for. Justin Haley, I think he's a guy that has been proving that he appears at the right time. He's been very consistent. He has won like 4 or 5 super speedways in the last 2 years. So definitely you have to look for. So I'm gonna go with the 11 card. Yeah. My bow pick, I think I'm gonna go. I think with Dinger. I think Dinger. It's been a guy that actually on Super Speedway hasn't been like the most consistent. I think it's been like the less of the 3 guys, but definitely I think he deserves to win a Super Speedway race. Definitely, he has won a short track. He has won a half a mile. He's won like in all kind of tracks. I think he has to. I think Super Speedway is the one that's left to win. So definitely look out with the 16. And then as my upset pick, I'm gonna have to definitely go with John Hunter Nemechek. Why? Because this guy, well, I think we know how good this guy is, but definitely it's a guy that kind of new in the Xfinity series, if we can say it like this, because he's definitely not new. He's just run before, but definitely is going to be a guy that maybe a lot of people they are not going to talk about him, but he's going to be a huge factor as well, considering that maybe he's going to go full time next year. So definitely look out with the 54. So yeah.
All right. So main pick, I'm going with Justin Allgaier. He's been a factor in Talladega, especially at some of the races last year. He was a factor, so I see Justin Allgaier pulling off a win this weekend at Talladega. Bull pick, I'm going with Austin Cindric. I think he's definitely someone that could lean on his Penske teammates especially on the super speedways, and give him tips for this weekend. So bull pick Austin Cindric, and he did win at Daytona earlier this season. And upset pick, this last name is definitely famous at Talladega Super Speedway, and he'll be the third one carrying on this legacy at Talladega, and it will be a huge upset. Jeffrey Earnhardt is my upset pick. And if he wins Talladega, especially, since Talladega has been known for being Earnhardt country, It'd be a huge upset to see Jeffrey Earnhardt win a Talladega.
He's driving for Hattori Racing.
No, he's driving for. I know he's driving the Zero car. What team is it?
Oh, team of
JD Motorsports.
Yeah,
JD Motorsports. Yeah, so he's driving the Zero car.
Well,
but
JD Motorsports, you remember that they also have a very huge underdog moment that I think they drove like 3 cars to the top 10. I think I don't remember which race it was, but they had like 3-4 cars to the top 10. That was like one of the most underrated moments.
Oh,
JD Motorsports. You can say what they want, but JD Motorsports and Super Speedways has been very good. Has had very good underdog moments as well. So
yeah,
definitely Jeffrey Earnhardt. He's a very good Super Speedway. He got a golden opportunity with Joe Gibbs 2 years ago, and
IK9. I don't know IK9. I mean, I don't know what the hell they pulled out, but IK9 pulled a dick move. To be honest,
but we'll see.
IK9 screwed him over.
Yeah, but definitely look out with Jeffrey Earnhardt. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
with the JR. So yeah, definitely.
Right. So now we're going to our cup picks. Mauricio, give us your cup picks.
Oh, this is the one that is gonna be painful to say. Main pick. You know what? As much as I don't like to say it, but I think it's gonna be definitely a factor. I think I'm gonna go as my main pick. Man, who I can choose, man? This is a pretty risky move, but man, you know what? Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin? All right.
I don't know. Maybe, I think maybe he's gonna appear at the correct time. Who knows? I think definitely it's gonna be a guy that definitely is gonna be in contention for everything for the race. He's definitely a very good super speedway racer, so definitely maybe he's gonna play conservative during 3/4 of the race, but on the last laps he will be right there battling for the win. My bold pick, I think I'm gonna go. Oh man, William Byron. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with William Byron. I think this guy, he's won a super speedway before, but definitely I think maybe if he gets right there in the correct time, I think he's gonna definitely have a pretty good chance to win the race. So definitely don't count out the 24. Maybe can pull the upsets, definitely. And talking about upsets, this time on my upsets, I don't know. I don't have one, but I'm gonna have 2 drivers that you have to look out for. And they proved it on the last Super Speedway race. They were having an amazing runs, and definitely you have to look out with these guys. Maybe they can make the win. They can make the surprise of the year.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Daniel Suarez.
Okay.
Daniel Suarez was supposed to win last time around until that last lap crash happened. I can definitely see this time maybe Kurt Busch or somebody else can push him to the lead and getting that upset win that he was looking for. Because definitely Trackhouse has been amazing. He's been performing even better than we were imagining. So imagine getting them a win. That's definitely huge for that team, for Pitbull and for Mr. Worldwide. So definitely you had to look out with the 99 car. And the other driver, Corey LaJoie. Last time around, oh my goodness, Corey LaJoie was leading the race. He almost got it as well. Definitely, he had a very amazing Daytona race last time around. I can definitely see him as well this time going for the win. He has proven as well that he can be also sometimes very underrated. So definitely we can see that 7 car up front, maybe with Justin Allgaier. So
yeah,
definitely look out with the 7.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So my Cup Series main picks. Main pick, this is a driver who I think he has already won 6, 7 times at Talladega. Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski is definitely a driver who knows how to get around Talladega and know how to be there at the right place at the right time. So I'm going with Brad Keselowski to win at Talladega. Bull pick, he's been kind of turning the corner around in some ways, but especially he's a Ford driver. And I think if he works together with a Ford, he could have a shot. Kevin Harvick, he possibly this weekend finally could get that elusive first win of the season. And then for my upset pick, he's been close at the super speedways, and considering we don't know where he's going to be at next season, either he might be at a different team next season or he might call it a career after this season. But I just want to see one final win from this guy. And I think this might be his last chance for him to possibly, if he does retire after this season, this could be his best chance to get one final win. Upset pick, I'm going with Ryan Newman. I just want to see him get one final win. Definitely one of the last few drivers that I grew up watching. So one final win I want to see from Ryan Newman. And hopefully he'll be the first one in the finish line. So that's my upset pick. All right. So that is our picks. So there we go. We wrap it up for picks. So now I want to get to the update. So this is an important update that any of y'all watching. So this is so let's see how many people watching. So we got 2 people watching. So there's an important update that I want to address. So especially mostly for those people who are subscribed to YouTube TV or who watch like any sports or races on YouTube TV. So like myself. So usually I watch races through YouTube TV. I get access to NBC, NBCSN, USA Network, especially mostly the NBC channels. So there's been apparently a petition, not more of a petition, but there's been an update going on about YouTube TV that starting tomorrow, their contract in having the privilege to have access to NBC on YouTube TV. So I pay $45 a month for YouTube TV. That they are planning that their contract with NBC expires after tomorrow, and there's a chance that either they might not renew it. So in a sense, that means that any people who are subscribed to YouTube TV or have a membership or subscription through YouTube TV to watch any sports, any TV shows, anything that's related to NBC. So like you look at channels like NBC, NBCSN, NBC Universo, Telemundo, or USA Network, or NBC Golf, NBC Sports Chicago, or anything. So all these NBC affiliated channels will no longer be there if the contract does not renew. And I don't know if you guys saw on my Twitter, but I tweeted to YouTube TV to not take away the NBC channels. And I'm gonna need your help, guys. Anyone who's watching, go to Facebook, go to Snapchat, go to Twitter, go to Instagram, contact YouTube TV, and please tell them do not take away any NBC channels and let them know why. Give them your reasons why they should not take away the NBC channels. And honestly, for me, I pay $45 a month to watch NBC, to watch any race on NBC, especially since NBC or NBCSN, I pay for a lot of those channels, and that's the only way I can watch the races through YouTube TV. And I subscribe to it, and I pay $45 every month, which I believe is not fair because not many people have access to cable or have access to streaming. So this is an update I want to get through. So if you have any social media, please let YouTube TV know. Do not take away any NBC channels, and especially if anyone who's watching, if you have YouTube TV and if that's how you watch any NBC affiliated channels, especially like me, I watch the NASCAR races, IndyCar races, sports car races on the NBC affiliated channels. And honestly, for a lot of us who are subscribed to YouTube TV, we don't want all those channels to be taken away. So YouTube TV did reach out back, and they said they were working very hard to get to renew their contracts with NBC through YouTube TV. So, but they said right now they're not in control of that, so they had to see if they get an agreement tomorrow. So I will update anybody on Twitter or on any social media tomorrow about that. But they said if they do not renew, that you can watch some of the races through Peacock Premium, which you have to pay $4.99 a month. So that's going to be one of the options. But hopefully they renew the contract that they have with NBC. You know, we obviously don't want to get that taken away, but that's the update I want to let y'all know. I would like your help to please go through social media and please spread the word. You know, pretty much saying don't get rid of NBC, YouTube TV, or tag YouTube or anything. And it would definitely mean a lot if you guys do that. So that's the update I want to spread out. Mauricio, I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Well, I think, well, in this case, I don't know the situation because we have a different deal on the aspect of, like where to watch the races or everything. So, but definitely, yeah, you have to definitely spread the word, like for the people for right there in USA, like all the situation that's happening right now. So definitely like go with my friend, like definitely you have to spread the word. If you can, if there's a solution, there's like a way that you can try to make a change or try to make a solution about something that doesn't have to have a change. So definitely go ahead and try to do what you can, and let's hope that the word has been spread to the correct people so you can save try to get the situation on the place that you want. So definitely just go and give it a try. Definitely it's better like knowing that you give it a try that not even trying about to do something. So definitely go and spread the word. That's all I can definitely say about it. So go ahead and work. That's everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the update I wanted to say. But otherwise, I think it's time to wrap it up. I just want to thank you, everyone, for watching this episode of the Turn 4 podcast. Your support and your viewership and your subscription definitely means a lot to us. We're definitely working very hard to make sure we provide the best content for y'all, and we do our best to cover the sport of NASCAR to the people who are watching, especially the people who follow the sport, the people who are trying to get into the sport. We definitely give it our 100% to cover the sport the best way we can. And it definitely means a lot. Your support definitely means a lot to us. So I appreciate spending your Wednesday afternoon with us. I know in a few minutes, the NASCAR Weekly Podcast will be on YouTube. I think it will be on Eric Esep's channel. So they're a few minutes away. So if you guys want to check it out, check it out. We try to do it at 5 o'clock because, we don't want to be overshadowed by their podcast. But so we try to do it the best way, the best schedule possible we can. And I just want to thank you, everyone, for watching. Mauricio, anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
Well, definitely it's definitely I can say that prepare your oxygen tanks because super speedway racing is always pain to watch. Is you lose your mind. It's definitely you're gonna have to definitely be prepared for suffering at Talladega. But yeah, man. So that's all I can say. That let's hope that our drivers make it through to the terrible hell of Talladega. We'll see what happens, and we'll see how things change out because everything is going to change for that race because on the Roval, everything is going to have a different perspective.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in next week's podcast. Have a good day.